Do I need special tools to replace motorcycle valve springs? If you are wondering whether you need special tools to replace motorcycle valve springs, you are not alone. Many motorcycle owners face this question when tackling engine maintenance. Replacing valve springs can be a bit tricky, but understanding the tools required can make the process smoother. To begin with, valve springs are under a lot of tension. This means that you cannot simply remove or install them by hand. You will need a valve spring compressor tool to safely manage this tension. There are various types of valve spring compressors available, and the specific tool you need can depend on your motorcycle model. One common type is the traditional valve spring compressor, which often has a C-clamp design. These tools typically come with different adapters to fit various valve sizes. A good valve spring compressor allows you to compress the spring while keeping the valve in place. This way, you can safely remove or install the small locks, known as keepers, that hold the spring in position on the valve stem. If you are looking for a budget-friendly option, you can find these specialized tools for around $40 to $50. Many kits come with multiple adapters, making them versatile for different valve sizes. Using a dedicated tool not only makes the job easier but also reduces the risk of parts flying off due to spring tension, which can be a safety concern. However, if you are feeling resourceful, there are alternative methods to replace valve springs without specialized tools. You can use a large C-clamp along with a bench vise. For instance, you can secure the cylinder head in the vise and use the C-clamp to compress the valve spring. This DIY approach can be very economical, especially if you already have the necessary tools. Just be careful to avoid damaging the cylinder head or valve components during the process. Safety is essential when working with compressed springs. Always wear eye protection, as springs and small keepers can suddenly releases and cause injury. When using any tool to compress valve springs, ensure that you have the correct adapter that matches the valve spring retainer diameter. This helps avoid slipping or damaging the components. It is also wise to keep track of which valve and spring come from which position on the cylinder head. Mixing them up can lead to engine performance issues. Sometimes, the valve stem tip may have a slight burr or mushrooming from contact with the rocker arm. You can smooth this out with fine sandpaper or a file to make valve removal easier. Additionally, applying a small amount of grease on the inside of the valve locks can help hold them in place during installation. It is worth noting that some motorcycle engines use different valve spring designs, such as torsion bar-style springs. These may requiring different tools or methods and might not be compatible with standard coil-type valve spring compressors. In summary, while you do need some form of valve spring compressor to replace motorcycle valve springs safely, you do not always need highly specialized or expensive tools. A dedicated valve spring compressor or a carefully used large C-clamp and vise setup can work effectively. Remember to prioritize safety, use the right adapters, and pay attention to detail throughout the process.